I get so much feedback via Twitter um, that I'm gonna step it up. So first off, what I want to do, I want to talk about the pay-per-view yesterday, UFC 276. It was that right there described it right there. Like it was more or less a I would say it was a good overall card because of the prelims. Um, but the main card in itself wasn't that great. Like maybe the Max and Volk fight. Maybe some people. It wasn't a good fight to me. It was a dominant fight. It was a good fight for Volkanovski, but it wasn't a good fight. I don't know, you know, if anybody knows what that means. I know what it means. That's the most important one. So going through the card, actually, it'd be a good idea to even pull up the damn card. And so the first fight, it was Sean O'Malley and Pedro Munoz, right? So, and this is what I even tweeted this out like immediately. I was like, oh my god, this just ruined the card. Like Jesus Christ. And the card started off this way. So basically, in the first round, crushing that grab. My bad, I got distracted. So the first round, basically just felt like O'Malley was just kind of trying to take pictures, and Munoz was very skittish, which is unlike him. He's a very aggressive fighter. Don't mind just fighting in the pocket, like immediately. Every fighter is like that. You know, with the way it ended, which was an eye poke. Final verdict on it was a no contest. I didn't think it was fake, and I still kind of don't. I don't know. I see some pictures where they say he using the wrong guy. There's all type of shit going on, but people pull the shots and stuff. I don't really want to know how to tell it different. His actions in the past show me that it's unlike him to act like a hoe. So it was just the way it ended was just a bad start the call. Like I said, it just felt like it was a high crowd. No matter what, no matter if it was a decision or anything, the crowd was looking for a reason to really get into it, and so was I. You know what I mean? So was I. The first fight, it ended in no contest. The second fight was Robbie Lawler and Brian Barberena. And I thought that was a good fight, it was an aggressive fight, it was the best. They really got it in. One thing I did notice, I'll just say one negative. I won't be too negative on the part. I won't be too negative when I discuss UFC. It's kind of tough seeing Robbie Lawler just look slower. Of course, that's all the time, but a dude that's just an absolute savage. That just looks older. It was it looked rough, I would say. But it was a good fight. They both put it out there. Robert Lawler put it out there, really piecing him up, really doing it in, and Barberena flicked it. And I think he stopped him on the feet. I forget how that went. I'm pretty sure he stopped him on the feet. Good fight. It was supposed to be on the prelims. It was a prelims kind of fight, I guess, but it was a good fight either way. What was on the prelims? find the prelims real quick. Cause I want to discuss prelims too. I think prelims deserve being discussed, especially with Jalen Turner ending it how it was supposed to. I'm sorry, I'm going to find it. I'm trying to find the damn prelims. There were early prelims as well, right? Got cookies popping up. Yeah, some early prelims. So starting all the way from the beginning, Jessica Rose Clark. The damn night started off with an upset. With Jessica Rose Clark losing to Julia's, her last name as well. I won't even try saying it. Jessica Rose Clark, I think she's from like Australia or something. She's a real unique looking character. She's a real good kind of up and coming MMA fighter. She got a fucking arm snap. I don't know who Julia thought she was. She looked like fucking Ronda Rousey. She looked like fucking Hoist Gracie. Flipping around and making that turn and getting that submission. So it was so crazy. It was so smooth. It looked like a video. She looked like a spider. Flipping and grabbing it and flipping around was such a finish. But she went all the way with it. She definitely broke her arm on purpose. She said she did because in the past she's lost submissions. That way, she lost a submission or she lost a fight because she may have thought she was about to break somebody's arm and just kind of let up on it, and then she wound up losing the fight. She was on a full fight losing and was still on. I should have been in my head because she was on a full fight losing streak. But Jessica Rose Clark was like minus 150, maybe minus 115 or something, maybe. Oh my god, I can't believe I just died. I haven't died in like years on this game. Holy shit. I got mauled, but I don't think so she was like it was like minus 120. It was really subtle. I really need to get some better on. That's what it is. I still got this fucking low level on. Taking a lot of hits. But it was a good fight. I liked it for what it was. It wasn't that long, but like I said, I'm not really for. Like I said, I really enjoy. Oh, I'm about to die again. I really enjoyed. I need to get better on. I still got armor when I was like fucking level 5. That's not acceptable, especially in here. I'll come back maybe. Probably go somewhere else. I've been there too many times. I don't really want to farm a power level on stream. I want to fucking explore. Second fight was Macy Barber and Jessica I. Macy Barber looked really strong. She looked really fast in there. She looked good. I mean, as far as UFC goes, things would have been better. She got a finish, I guess. But it go how it go. And Jessica I, Jessica I retired after the end of the fight. So. Then it's just to see Jessica got close. Had a title fight recently. I think that was last year, 2 years before. With Valentina Shevchenko. Didn't really go real well, but didn't go fucking well at all. Actually, wasn't the worst it's ever gonna get. I need to go to a town. I'm gonna go to weight rest because I'm playing Elder Scrolls Online, by the way. I think I was gonna put this in a different form, but I kind of just want to play the game. So Jessica retired, and we went to the next fight, Uriah Hall versus Andre Muniz. I don't know his last name. I had no idea these dudes was even fighting until like the day of. So I just remember seeing Uriah Hall's odds of knocking this dude out was like plus 3,500. So I'm like, okay, older fighter. We don't really know what's going on, what he got in the tank. Maybe it seemed like a good bet. So that's how I knew they was actually fighting. I had no idea what was going on. But Uriah Hall got mauled and just rustled and not really beat up, but more like just smothered. He got beat up, but not like beat bloody. He got mauled, he got out grappled, and he looked dead tired. If he was in the ocean, his ass would have drowned. It was an okay fight. The next thing, and that was for the pre-prelims. Jesus, fucking Uriah Hall is on the early prelims. This thing is fighting at 8 o'clock in the morning, basically. Brad Tavares and Dricus Duplessis. Crazy fight. Dricus is, I don't know his style. His style is just, it's just weird. He fights like he's drunk. I don't know. He fights really weird. I don't know what the fuck to quantify his fight style is. But he won by a decision. Brad Tavares got a broken nose and maybe like the second round, real nasty, real bloody, just absolutely disgusting. You can see if you go to like the UFC site and see the top of his head, he has like bleach blonde, like hair is kind of mixed. You know, his hair is normally brown or whatever, but he has parts blonde. It was completely red by the time the fight was done. It was pretty nasty. Let's see. Gabriel Green and Ian Gary. I actually was figuring, like, I don't know Gabriel Green. He's a newer fighter to me. I think he may have fought on like the Dana White Contender Series or something like that. But I actually was like, okay, Ian Gary, to me he hasn't looked at. Let's go to the
honest much.
Right. To me, he hasn't looked at like super impressing to me. Like he's not looking. I don't know. Like he's just not. He's not looking like that dude to me. I don't know why. I'm speaking about Ian Gary, but he looked really fast. He looked sharp. His hand speed was crazy. His accuracy was crazy. It looked like he was chasing a knockout. He kept throwing the knee up. I'm not sure why. But I'm not a fucking fighter, so maybe this nigga was just seeing something I'm not seeing. I wasn't in the octagon.
Halt! Go no further till you've spoken with me.
Who do you think you're talking to, lady? What the hell? But he looked really impressive. I think he went to a decision. Yeah, it went all the way to a decision. Typically, when you're a showcaser like this, when you're a prospect, getting some finishes, it's a thing. I think he could have got a couple finishes. He got knocked down a couple times. So somebody fighting this big motherfucker? Somebody's not, man. I'm not about to. Not right now. What is this? An arena? I don't want to go in an arena. I want to fight. I want to find that. But really impressive hand speed and accuracy by Ian Gary. I don't know. He's like, to me, it's something off. It's good, but something off. Something off. Donald Cerrone. I think with Ian Gary, when he steps up in competition, and the UFC is known for this with some fighters, it really depends on how much clout you got with UFC. That's why Sean O'Malley he kind of get who he get, even though Pedro Munoz is a tough cat. But to the next fight, Jim Miller and Donald Cerrone. This fight kind of went like pretty much everybody thought it would go with Jim Miller finishing him. Jim Miller's just been a lot more consistent, and he's been stopping people already. He had a knockout win like a couple fights ago, last fight. West Cowboys lost like maybe 6 straight. So in UFC, this is one thing you go for when you betting. Look for the motherfucker that's on a 3-fight losing streak, a 4-fight losing streak, a 5-fight losing streak, and don't bet Don't bet that motherfucker. I don't care what happened to Jessica Rose Clark. That was something totally different. Do not bet a motherfucker that's on a 4-fight losing streak in the UFC. It's a reason. UFC is really tough, and when you get to a certain level, like this, how the UFC trap they fighters in, right? And when you start going up and up, they'll pay you. You'll get your money. If they think you're a prospect, worth keeping, they'll get you some money after some couple fights, right? So you fight a certain tier, you fight 2-3 cats at a certain tier. You want to go up, they'll pay you and they'll bring you up. You fight maybe 1 or 2, and let's say you get a knockout, they'll bring you up to the next tier, and they go pay you for that. But the competition, when they hit that tier, usually the third level, not, they got some prelim guys, such as, newer fighters like yourself, and then they got the second guys, some guys that may be on their way out. They throw cats like that, guys that are on 3-fight losing streak. That's what Jessica Rose Clark got. She got somebody who's on a 4-fight losing streak, who's on their way out, and the UFC give you the rope. You either climb out or you gonna hang yourself. That's what they do. This sport, more than anything with it, the fighter dictates really everything as far as how the UFC treat them. I can look at how the UFC treat them and it's what's going on. But there's a certain tier fighter that you just gonna be stuck fighting. That's just how it is. Like, certain motherfuckers, you just gonna keep fighting. So, but going on to the next fight, and Jim Miller has been good fighting any tier, even at 38, slanging and banging. And I'm saying even at 38, like he's 52, he's slanging and banging. The next fight was really, really impressive. It was Jalen Turner against, did I call him Jalen Green earlier? Brad Riddell. Brad Riddell out of New Zealand. Very impressive fighter, very good fighter. Really two prospects. And Jalen Turner just kind of showed up and showed out. Got a good right hand, easy submission. I think it was done in 30 seconds. And to stop Brad Riddell in 30 seconds, that's some motherfucking shit to do. So it's really impressive. For people that don't really watch UFC or whatever, how this may be received, beating a guy like Brad Riddell, even though he's a prospect as well. Not really a prospect. He's, people know who he is already. We know he's good. But to beat him that quick, to beat him in general, let alone beat him that quick, is a very impressive thing. Another impressive thing about the UFC is feeding him. He's on ABC in the main event spot. This is the Cannonier spot. This is the Cannonier Kobe Covington spot. So they thought enough about them. And first of all, Cannonier, not Cannonier, but Kobe Covington, like, what are you doing? This is a perfect spot. But yeah, Jalen Green really closed it out. He really closed out the night on network television. I mean, I'm sure that's what the UFC was looking for. To close out on ABC with a finish, a quick finish at that, with 2 finishes in a row, 2 submission finishes. So, like I said, this is why I thought the prelims were great. All the fights were good. Even the early prelims, the Uriah Hall one was okay. Baseball one, I liked that fight. Jessica Rose Clark fight was pretty quick. It was like 40 seconds. And then I got to the main card. I already talked about O'Malley, Munoz, Pieta and Strickland. Basically, all right. So let me give my quick opinion on Alex Pieta. Right? So Alex Pieta is this super ridiculous strong knockout artist. He's beat Adesanya twice. I don't know if he knocked him out twice. I know he knocked him out once. Out cold, right? What did he do? Adesanya lost, right? We know he lost. We seen him lose before in our face. But the thing is, Pieta has lost too. Pieta has been stopped. Now, granted, I'm sure Adesanya, he's got to be a little salty that they put him through the ringer to get to his spot, like to become not even champion, to even become known, to become proven. You have to fight like Brad Tavares. You have to fight what's this goddamn Vittori. Vittori would beat Pereira. Period. Like I don't think that's even like debatable. That Brad Tavares, if he couldn't beat Pieta, it'll be a hard ass fight because the first fight was a hard ass fight, and I'm not even sure who that dude was. No disrespect at all. So if you have a tough fight with that dude, and like I say, he's been stopped before. So this is the thing that's different with Adesanya in this cat, is that we've seen him lose in MMA already. Pieta. When Adesanya came in and he was undefeated for a while. He's been undefeated in his weight division. So we haven't seen him lose. So it's a completely different type of thing. Saying all that, this man is a monster. This man is the real deal. And this has to be a UFC trying to get the belt out of Izzy's hands, or just trying to get an exciting fight out of Izzy, period. And I don't mean that as a shot at Izzy. I mean that as the fights have not been exciting because they're just not haven't been exciting. I mean, it's two people in a fight. It's two people in a fight. Well, we won't get to that first. Let's go to Max Holloway and Volkanovski. So Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway. A lot of people know this is the third fight. Alexander Volkanovski won the first two. They were both razor thin. I thought Max Holloway won both of the fights. I thought number two was pretty clear that he won the fight because he had two knockdowns. And he won 3 rounds of the fight, the first 3. This fight was not close, and this fight looked like Alexander Volkanovski fighting Korean Zombie or just any other, rank 6 or 8 opponent. I'm not sure if Alex got faster or if Max got slower. But the difference is between the first 2 fights and this fight, somebody changed. So, who changed is what we got to figure out. And, is what they got to figure out. And Volkanovski still has his belt, so I thought it was a amazing, a flawless performance. And you know what? Like, I'm gonna talk a little bit about what I think about these fighters, Max Holloway in particular. To beat Max Holloway in general, just to win, bruh. If you even was to, he never knocked him down before. Like in a fight, Max knocked him down twice, and he's never been knocked down, but this third one was by far the worst damage we've seen from Max since probably Poirier. And Poirier was just a clear power difference. So clearly Volkanovski was throwing just harder, and the shot cutting his eye wasn't gonna make it even better. And that happened like the first round. Second round, he had a huge gash. Bruh, that is, hold up, I wish I could find it. That is the biggest gash I've ever seen. So Max Holloway has the biggest gash that most people have ever, when they put the Q-tip, he tried to put the Q-tip in it to, to tourniquet it, to put pressure on it. The Q-tip got swallowed up by the gash. It was swallowed by the gash. So we're talking some nasty shit. Second round against the best fighter in the division ever. And like I said, it wasn't close. And to get to even have a moment against Max Holloway is impressive for any fighter ever. To have had a punch, and let's say if they knocked him out, I don't remember him getting knocked out at all. I stopped moving on to that. But to beat Max Holloway, I just think it's really impressive. And to just absolutely dominate and punish him is, I really don't know. I don't think there's really nothing else to be said. Alexander Volkanovski is just a clip of a better fighter. And it wasn't close. And I haven't seen any fights where I was so surprised that it just wasn't that close. I think it's my favorite fight. I always go to this fight. My favorite fight, not fighter, is TJ Dillashaw against Renan Barão 1. And it was the complete opposite of what we thought was gonna happen. And it was flawless. But I think that was a lot more impressive because we thought Barão was just gonna kill him. Well, we thought this was gonna be another competitive fight. But it just reminds me of the kind of shock that I felt watching that fight. So it's a very impressive fight. I don't know what's next for Volkanovski. I don't think there's anybody left to really fight. I don't think he's fought Calvin Kattar. I don't think he's fought. What's Max for? Because Max has probably cleaned out the division like 3 times. So I don't know who's left to fight for either one of them. Let me see if I can find any kind of win-loss, but I can't. But the main event, quote unquote main event, was Israel Adesanya against Jared Cannonier. Now, this fight started off very, well, not this fight. The build up to this fight was very, very cordial, right? It was Cannonier just being kind of cool with Izzy, and I think Izzy said, he met him. It's like, man, I'm gonna get that dude a title shot. He worked hard. He's a tough fighter, and he's a nice guy. So I'm sure for Cannonier, this is probably the biggest paycheck he's ever received because he's in a title fight on a pay-per-view at the main event. So I'm sure Izzy doing that for him in itself was real cool. For them anyway, but it turned from a lot of love and just kind of, I don't want to say they wasn't lovey-dovey, but they were real cool with each other. But then there would just be certain things. I think Cannonier was just kind of building up his confidence. He said he wanted to make it look easy, and then Adesanya, I think Adesanya probably felt that he needed to fire himself up. That's what it seemed like. It seemed like he wanted to fire himself up. And I wonder if that Undertaker thing, he came out with the Undertaker thing from wrestling. I wonder if that was a last minute thing because, last week, these niggas is not, wasn't that I'ma take your soul level. So I wonder if that was a last minute change or something like that. But it was another. I want to say another, like it was. It wasn't what we expected. When you come out to the Undertaker saying you're gonna take people's souls, and you got this man, you gotta earn like Paul Bearer with this man's name on it. Well, maybe this probably was started out. You gotta fucking earn with Cannonier's name engraved on it, but which is weird. But it was another fight where it was just more of a point fighting match, whereas I'm going to assume like Adesanya is a high level kickboxer, right? Like Pereira is the only person in the UFC that's going to be able to strike even close to that level without dirty boxing trickery, you know, just like Gaston was doing. Pereira's at the skill level. So what happens in all of these fights is it's Adesanya countering, baiting, leg kicking, trying to set traps, but throwing feints. And then when they get hit with that whoosh, with that whip, the dude who's fighting him be like, oh hell no. This motherfucker throwing question mark kicks. My legs hurt. He's kicking it raw. He's popping me in the face with a jab. He's throwing high kicks everywhere. And these kicks still kicking my leg. And he's fainting and he's jumping and he's doing all this. So all of these fights turn into this. And Cannonier is not a counter fighter. He's a patient fighter, but he usually kind of pounces when somebody else kind of draws in. He's not I wouldn't call him a counter fighter like Izzy. But it was another fight like that, whereas Adesanya wasn't really going to come in and go crazy, and I think he does this to himself so good, and he knows the repercussions to this shit. Like, he knows what's gonna happen if you fuck up, and it's like the Yamamoto fight. Like, he's good with disappointing you up, using you up all day. Like, he's like, all right, this cool. Well, I'm gonna just do this, and that's what makes the fights like that. Because, I mean, why would you go in there and get your motherfucking head knocked off? Other than that, it just ain't rocket science. We just want to get their motherfucking head kicked off into playing Earth. I was really surprised that Cannonier never picked it up. I don't like that the UFC and there wasn't a great like promo or media from either one of these guys. Just a lot of cringe, a lot of kind of cringe around one line and just stuff like that. So to have a fight like that is just it's more of a disappointing finish to a pay-per-view that also started off disappointing. So I was not having fun. That's just my take on the call. I don't know what Sean Strickland was thinking. I just put that right before I think I did. I don't know what Sean Strickland was thinking. We'll go back to that. I don't know what Sean Strickland was thinking. I think he thought this was going to be a long 15-minute fight. It wasn't. And Pierre had no plans on it being there. I think he thought he was going to be able to spar with him and deal with him and just make it a nasty, dirty fight until he had to grapple. And he probably should have been grappling from the start, because having a dirty, nasty fight with a dude like that, he is the fucking mud. This nigga is the mud. So I wouldn't recommend I wouldn't recommend nobody doing anything like that. So, you know, I wouldn't even be surprised if The match in him and Adesanya is a snooze. Because he backs up a lot too. But we'll see how it go, man. Overall, like I say, I didn't like much of the main card. I thought the main card was fairly disappointing. But the prelims were good, and the prelims was also good. So, I'm gonna start doing more videos like that. Probably, I don't know if I'm gonna have fucking Elder Scrolls here, but I thought it was an okay card. Worth $70? Hell no. Worth who was on ABC? Hell yes. So more free fights if this motherfucker's gonna look like this. Thank y'all for watching, and your boy will holler.